behind it. I just don't. I mean, this one is, look at people. And listen, if you're dating, I understand it. There's older men that date younger women all the
Right.
time. That all makes sense. But just to be
Fine.
pure friends, this one
Right.
is 28.
Right.
You're 56. I'm not age shaming. It's just,
Right.
you were from, I don't see, I
Well,
just don't see it. Yes,
what could you have in common? I
right.
mean,
Like you're both sober, period. I don't know
Kyle's
what else.
daughter is older than Morgan. She's like 35 or something.
Yeah.
Kyle's oldest daughter. So and I know men do that all the time, but if I saw some real affection between them, some chemistry
Yeah.
naturally while they were not that's uh, posed in Paris or, you know, created for a music video where they've got lighting and do it from this angle and people talking you through how this is supposed to look smoldering and sexy. And it just is a natural moment. Human beings are pretty good, that sort of instinct where you feel you're seeing something that's faux or that's just not authentic. It was that moment for me when I saw her with Morgan, and Kyle seemed to be trying really hard. And when you're with somebody like a BFF or with a love interest, it sort of flows and you don't care so much what people think. It's about the natural chemistry and putting your head on their shoulder, holding hands. We weren't seeing that because she claims they're just friends. But even with my friends, my BFFs, the hugs are obviously very authentic. When we hug each other, it's like, oh my God, hi. Oh my God, I missed you. How have you been? You know, you truly miss each other. And it just all looked very uncomfortable, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a strange scene myself. Granted, I thought the scene with her and Mauricio in the book was also strange.
Yeah.
I am sorry. I have a thing when he says love bean. I cringe. I just, for so many reasons, I don't know why it makes me cringe.
She's a free holy. That's so funny.
I've never heard any of this. I've never heard that. I just, when
That
like,
would,
didn't,
can I
right?
just say that's the biggest turnoff? I would have corrected that a long time ago with my husband if he called me that. That just that for visual people, it's just a terrible place for our mind to wander. Just like don't say that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard that said. And, I mean, I like
Probably
scenes.
never been spoken in American history. So
Yeah, it's just, but at this point, stay married, don't stay married. But I mean, I see this as being like, let's call it. It's over. I agree with Kathy. Like, it's
yeah,
just over. Like,
all
it's
time
just,
of
this
death.
is
Yeah.
it. Time of death. I'm
Well,
sorry, everyone does not have faith in marriages anymore because of Kyle and Mauricio, but
but I
this
think
is where we're at.
I think they're building an arc for all the vacations that they're going to take together and all the fake holidays that they're going to spend together to get the footage she needs to create that illusion that they could get back together. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but even if they get the divorce and like finalize it, they still may throw out there the idea of the flirt of them getting back together. So it seems like they're trying to build in a solid, at least backstory that could then be kicked up and resurrected if it suits the career in the series. So that's just
Yeah,
my.
I know. I mean, to your point, if they're not divorced, Mauricio will be on the show. They'll be living together and they'll have separate lives. And he'll say, bye, honey, I'm going on a date. And she'll say,
Yeah,
have
but
a nice
notice
time.
he's always going on vacation now. He's always got a bag
Yes.
packed and he's going out of the country or he's going skiing, and that's how they get around that whole intimacy that we're not seeing between them on camera. It's why they have pictures taken during the holidays to try and reinforce the storyline that there's still something there, or that they're still close, or they're friends. Maybe they're friends. I mean, maybe that's true, but then they'll have a headline that sort of insinuates that are they getting back together? And she needs to have that for the storyline. But it's like Kim started out, what we started out talking about. Kim said, why can't we all be together without the camera? And Kyle doesn't do that. Even with her husband, they have pictures taken that are put in the press. If you want to get away from the paparazzi, there are places you can go to do that. And it just seems she makes herself very available for those pictures because I'm sure the daughters are very real moments, but I think for the parents, I think he does it out of obligation. I think she does it for the show. So it keeps things going for them where they can feel good about themselves. I don't know.
I would agree with that. As we wind down for next week, when we are going to go over part 2, anything I'm most like, what are you most excited to see? Because I think I love her. I don't wish this upon her. I think we're going to see a little bit of the unraveling of Denise Richards. And I think Denise and Erica are about to get into it. And Denise is like, I don't know, she's thoroughly entertaining me. I think it's right. I agree with you. It's sad. Like, why did you take this bait? Like, you didn't need to. I don't know if this is going to redeem your being run off the show by your ex. I mean, talk about ex-best friends. You and I could do a whole series on Lisa Rinna and Denise Richards and what Lisa Rinna would do for $1. We could do 12 weeks on that, but
I can respect people when they're honest about it. When they're like, look, it's all about the Benjamins. I got to take care of my kids. I can respect that. It's like, okay, you don't have a lot of options. I get it. It's selling your soul to the devil, but do what you got to do. It's your life. With Denise for the second part, I'm actually, this is never going to happen, but hoping that she would immediately sober up, become intellectual, and assess Kyle and what Kyle's demons are, because Kyle hates hearing about her own problems from other people. And if you wanted a real episode, somebody would turn the tables on her like that. I guess like I did, although she asked for it in the first one. I kept telling her to please stop asking me questions. I wasn't there for that. So, but we know Denise isn't going to do that. We know it's going to be some sort of a train wreck. Camille may try to become relevant for future storylines, to be able to come back, because you always get that half nice, half evil person on the show that talks the person the show really needs to be there for all these wow moments back into coming on the show, and then sort of throws them under the bus and is like, oh no, I'm there for you. I love you. I'm here for you. It's so predictable. Now, there are a lot of people at the table and they're putting drugs in their food. So this should be interesting. Since I've never put drugs in my food, I don't really know the effects that would have on somebody's psyche, but I do know that THC pot does it can mess with your brain and cause some sort of mental issues. So it's hard to say what's going to happen. I think it would have been more honest if you put Andy at the head of the table, given him the full 10 milligrams or something of THC, and let the camera film him, because he's so comfortable having it film these women and their lives being shredded and them being publicly humiliated for all these years. Why doesn't he put himself in their shoes instead of sitting in judgment of them at the reunions?
Well, Allison, I think 99% of the people listening would love for that to happen. People would have been saying this about Andy for many years. So I think that's a very good point, especially with the dose of 10. We kind of got a preview
of him that New Year's Eve when he drank on the air.
Correct.
And he had to leave. That was kind of awesome. And that's what happens when you put a camera on people that are drinking, and that's how it feels. It's humiliating, except he had the staff to try and scrub the stories so he could get away with it.
Correct.
It's such an ugly place, Hollywood, but we can't seem to get enough of it at the same time. Yes, that would have been more honest if he was there and a part of this, I believe, but the women that they have there are, I'm sure it's why, Faye brought the friend. Faye brought the friend. He's probably a semi-handler for her to make sure things don't go against her, to deflect from her, because she's the only one that really showed up with someone else, I believe, as a guest.
Yeah, except for Cynthia Bailey, but she's a housewife, so she got her own.
I don't even know who she is. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You don't have to.
So they're going to focus on, obviously, Sutton and Kyle's conflict. They're going to try and get Camille and Faye to exchange words, but probably Faye's already written a script of what she's going to say, and they have a time already prearranged for when she's going to maybe come for Camille. So the thing about the episode I was on, you could tell it wasn't scripted for me. And I think the reality in reality television are moments like my experience coming out on camera, and it can either shock people or it's just delightfully refreshing to people to see something real. And I don't think the viewers get that here, but that's up to them to decide on whether or not the show holds value for them. So you and I will watch it together. I will have my popcorn. I'll have to order an oversized martini glass. I don't know where to find one, but I'm sure Amazon has it. Pour myself a drink and try to stomach it and revisit, because it should.
Thank you for watching another episode for
you're welcome. Yeah, you owe me lunch.
Well, listen, when I'm taking you and your husband to dinner when I am in Arizona, unless you would like to come to LA or New York City before that, which you're invited.
You're so sweet. Thank you. Hard pass. I'm going to stay here and you come here and I'll show you my town.
When I'm in LA for the winter, January, February, March, I mean, you're as close as can be, and I will need